My name is Olivnet, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Now let's kick off today's edition. Veterans of Rwanda's liberation struggle have called on young people to take a keen interest in learning the country's authentic history, particularly accounts written by Rwandans themselves. They say such history nurtures patriotism and helps preserve the core values that have defined Rwandans over the generations. These remarks were made during the launch of a book documenting Rwanda's history and the struggle to liberate the nation. We have details. The liberation struggle began with the formation of the RPF in Inkotanyi, which succeeded RANU. Its primary objective was to enable the return of Rwandans who had lived in exile for over 4 decades after being denied the right to return to their homeland. Another key objective was to free those inside the country from an oppressive government that institutionalized divisionism and ethnic discrimination, policies that led to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Many books on Rwanda's history have been authored by foreign writers, often presenting distorted narratives that make it difficult to grasp the true historical context. Much of this writing was influenced by colonial and neo-colonial ideologies that promoted division. Wilson Rutaisire, a liberation struggle veteran, says Rwandans must take responsibility for studying and disseminating their own history. He encourages readers to begin with the book Option Z, The Long Road to Freedom, authored by Rwandan writer Anakle Ruzindana.
What really stayed on my heart at first was thinking about an old man like him, who is even older than me. The fact that he took his time to document the history of this country shows that he wants the nation to heal. He wants to heal Rwandans so that the discrimination we experienced in the past, brought by colonizers, can truly disappear. That initiative to build a united Rwanda is what stayed deeply on my heart, because I want to leave my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren a good country, one built on a history they can trust. No one will ever lie to them, unlike the false narratives often found in newspapers, social media, or from those who oppose the government while living abroad. These lies can easily mislead children, but books that document the true history will help change that. That is what really touched me, building the country based on truth. The message he provides to young people is to be patriotic, because when you love your country, you can do anything for it.
The author, Anakle Ruzindana, explains that the book took nearly 30 years to write, as he began working on it during the liberation struggle itself. He stresses that Rwanda's true history should not be overshadowed by false narratives, which is why he hopes the book will reach a wide audience.
The main message I want to share is the importance of knowing the true history of Rwanda, especially because it has often been distorted or twisted. This is particularly important for young people who were not yet born during the tragic events Rwanda faced. I also want them to understand the struggles people went through to resolve these problems. By learning how everything unfolded and what led to the atrocities of the genocide, the younger generation can be better prepared to prevent similar tragedies in the future. I originally wrote this book in English so it can be used as a teaching material in schools. As a teacher myself, I know that there are very few, if any, textbooks about Rwandan history used in schools. Often teachers gather information from various sources and may unintentionally pass on incorrect or mixed up histories to children. My goal was to create a book that serves as a clear, reliable guide for teaching Rwandan history in schools. I also plan to translate it into Kinyarwanda. Ambassador Zeno Mutimura, one of the founding members and early leaders of the RPF in Inkotanyi, notes that this book is a true reflection of patriotism and something young people can learn from. He also calls for it to be introduced in schools and other institutions. This is a book that schools should definitely have. It includes the true history of Rwanda, not just the history of the RPF, but the full origin of the country. When you read it, you become eager to understand Rwanda's past deeply. For example, when we talk about homegrown solutions, it means Rwandans must accept that they created their own Rwanda. There are many positive things in our history that were denied or overlooked, and we need to go back and learn from them. When we say Ndi Umunyarwanda, it means knowing the real problems from their roots, not just addressing symptoms or surface signs. The man who wrote this book started when he was an adult, but we encourage young people to start early. I remember when he began, some people doubted he would finish it, but his patience and persistence made it possible. Secondly, our history is vital. There is no country without history. Preserving and sharing it requires people who are committed, who research carefully, and who truly love what they do.
So kandi bikenera abantu, bikenera ubushakashatsi, bikenera commitment, kwitaho no gukunda icyo ukora.
Beyond recounting Rwanda's history and the liberation struggle, the 234-page book also describes the country's post-liberation journey of nation building, highlighting the emergence of a modern Rwanda free from discrimination, enjoying lasting security, and making steady progress in development. Moving ahead to other matters, Congolese refugees living in camps across Rwanda have once again appealed to the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the international community, expressing their strong desire to return to their homeland so they can work, rebuild their lives, and contribute to the development of their own country. We have details on this one. In 2 months, Jeremy Sebagabo, a man in his early 60s, will mark 30 years living in Kiziba refugee camp in Karongi district. He is among the first group of refugees who arrived at the camp.
The life we live is a life of refugees, and there is nothing good about it. Our wish is to return to our home country, just as others have their own. We are currently fleeing because the government of Congo does not accept us as Tutsi. What makes us even more saddened is that it supports the FDLR militia group, which has committed crimes in the past and continues to do so by killing members of the Banyamulenge community. All Tutsi communities who remain in Congo face severe violence. We condemn the killings and the discrimination.
Refugees from Mugonga camp in southern Rwanda and Kiziba camp in Karongi emphasized similar concerns, highlighting the hardships they continue to endure. Life in the camp is not good. Although we were received well when we arrived, life here is not easy. The funds that support our daily lives, which come from donors, have been reduced significantly. What I wish for most is for us to return to our home country. We are truly Congolese. That is where I was born. God created us the same as others. If we could find someone who would speak for us, we could return to our home. That is what I sincerely ask for. Refugee camps are not home only to the elderly. Many young people were born in exile, while others arrived as infants. After spending their entire lives in displacement, they now face deep uncertainty about their future. I was born in Nkamira when we were fleeing. I'm now 28 years old. As young people, our future is uncertain. My wish is to return to my home country. Despite their different ages and experiences, the refugees share one unchanging demand: to return home, particularly to areas such as Masisi, Rutshuru, and other regions in eastern Congo from which they were displaced.
We do not want our lives to rely solely on funds from the international community. We want to return home. If the international community could stand together and advocate for us, since there are many more than 100,000 Congolese refugees living in Rwanda, we are many. We ask for their support to help us return to our country so that we can stop suffering in the camps.
On Friday, refugees from Kiziba camp, Karongi district, Mugonga camp in the southern province, and Nyabiheke camp, eastern province, held a peaceful march to denounce hate speech and discrimination recently expressed by the spokesperson of the Congolese Armed Forces, FARDC, General Sylvain Ekenge. They also condemned ongoing violence against Kinyarwanda-speaking Tutsi communities in the Democratic Republic of Congo, calling on the Congolese authorities to immediately stop these abuses and ensure that all perpetrators are held accountable through justice mechanisms. Now to economic matters. Economic experts say that the special policies and strategies implemented by the government of Rwanda to ease trade and investment continue to place Rwanda among the top performers in international reports. The latest report from the World Bank, known as the Business Ready Report, ranked Rwanda first among sub-Saharan African countries with well-performing economies. Rwanda also ranked among the top countries globally for ease of doing business and investment. Francine Havugimana Uwera, an entrepreneur, confirms that the government of Rwanda has made significant and visible reforms aimed at simplifying trade and investment over the past 20 years. She agrees with the World Bank's findings that have placed Rwanda at the forefront in facilitating business and investment. Economic policy experts say Rwanda's continued high rankings are due to clear reasons, especially when compared to the global economic fluctuations. They also explain that ongoing economic reforms by the Rwandan government are key reasons why Rwanda remains among the top performers compared to other countries. The latest Business Ready 2025 report, which analyzes the economies of 101 countries, shows that Rwanda performs well across various indicators, both at the African level and globally. In the category of preparing laws and regulations governing businesses, Rwanda ranked first in Africa. Rwanda is also the only African country to rank among the top globally on indicators related to sound institutional performance, placing 12th worldwide. On service delivery by institutions and government agencies, Rwanda ranked third in Africa. Now to other matters. Visitors to Rubavu district and investors in tourism based around Lake Kivu says that the lake offers great opportunities for relaxation and entertainment. Moreover, it promotes business development in hotels and accommodation for visitors. Every weekend, especially during busy holidays seasons like Christmas and New Year's, Rubavu as a touristic destination becomes a hub attracting people from all directions. Various bars and restaurants in Rubavu organize events and entertainment activities to delight their guests. Event organizers say having Lake Kivu is a great advantage. With the locals' love for recreation, it creates a favorable environment for investment and entertainment. Rubavu's growing reputation as a center for hospitality and leisure is the result of significant efforts to develop infrastructure along the shores of Lake Kivu. Hotel, bar, and restaurant investors in Rubavu say the government's program to promote tourism based on Lake Kivu has brought them tangible benefits. The Rubavu district leadership also confirms that Lake Kivu is one of the cornerstone of the district's development, as explained by Prosper Mulindwa, the district's mayor of Rubavu. District data shows that Rubavu has more than 30 small quality hotels and accommodations with over 600 rooms. However, district officials acknowledge that these rooms are not sufficient and they are encouraging more investors to develop and additional hotels and lodgings to reduce the shortage of quality accommodations and services. Now to environment-related matters, some of the youth have dared to create their own businesses and encourage others to stand up and become entrepreneurs because it leads to their own development and that of the country as a whole. While the government of Rwanda continues to intensify efforts to tackle the effects of climate change, some young people have committed themselves to manufacturing electric vehicles aiming to reduce air pollution and promote environmentally friendly transportation. Young entrepreneurs involved in making electric bicycles explain how these bicycles are made and that they benefit from them and the benefit they get from doing so, especially their role in protecting the environment. Meanwhile, users of these bicycles report that they help speed up daily work and make transportation way easier. Manufacturing electric vehicles is a practical solution to reducing air pollution polluting emissions, reducing and promoting sustainable transportation. These initiatives demonstrate that Rwandan youth have the capacity and willingness to help the country achieve sustainable development goals, making them strong partners in building a reliable future while protecting the environment. The Ministry of Environment continues to encourage users of vehicles powered by fossil fuels to switch to electric vehicles because this helps citizens have healthier lives and accelerates development, as explained by the Minister of Environment, Dr. Bernadette Arakwiye.
The climate action journey is also full of opportunity that do address the climate needs, but at the same time enhance the economy, because we are talking about job creation and we are talking about other investment opportunities that are in support of our economy. So making it concrete, we are looking at opportunity again, mostly in the transport sector. We know that shifting from vehicles that use gasoline or diesel to adopting electric vehicle presents an investment opportunity that allow us first to mobilize the resources from investors in that sector, but also allow us to really tackle those broader challenge of climate change, and I can also name the air quality issues that we've been facing in the country. So investment opportunities are there, and we are busy really honing those down so that we can bring the right partners that can support us on our climate journey.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njye muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
This marks the end of tonight's bulletin. Thank you, dear viewers, for staying with us. On behalf of the entire news team, we wish you a fruitful weekend, and we hope that you will still enjoy the news start of the year. Goodbye.